Deb Brittan, my love. I could say that, it's pretty amazing. I could say that now. That's all credit to EXP and just connection and relationship, because we didn't know each other from Adam, even though we happened to be with the same company at some points in our real estate career. It happened to be Keller Williams.
Yes.
And you were knocking it out of the park, number one agent production team in all of Northwest Louisiana, and then relocated and built again out in the greater Sacramento area and crushed it out here.
Expansion.
And it was my wife that saw you having, I think it was 122 offers on one listing, which is just
in 3 days. In 3 days. Don't forget the 3 days.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that was insane. It was on the news. Multiple cities. It was a big deal. And she's like, you need to call this gal, right?
Yeah.
And I did. I think we were playing a little bit of phone tag and
I was ignoring your calls.
You were ignoring them, like, that EXP. Right? I wasn't the first EXP person to call you.
You were not.
Right? Yeah.
Many years.
So speak about that a little bit. What was it why did you take the call or go further in investigation? Was it something going on in your life, or just what was it?
Well, it's interesting, Matt, and you know this, but my phone had blown up for years with EXP, people trying to call me and make me make the switch, and I was real committed where I was at. Let's just say I bled the color red. And needless to say, when you started calling me, now I will, and you know this, but the thing that stood out about your call was how you had exhorted your wife. And so I still remember that first message, and I thought, well, I'm not going to return his call, but I do like him.
Because I said, I'm actually calling you to honor my wife.
You did.
She made me swear that I would call you.
You did.
Deb, I'm calling you. And
And so anyway, so that kind of pulled my heartstrings a little bit. And so every time you'd call, you would again honor her. And to the point where it kind of became comical. I even saved your name in my phone as Matt and Lexi. We found common ground on things that are important to us and, specifically our faith. And so that was a beautiful thing. And so then when, of course, you asked me if I knew why you were calling, I was like, you got it, this joker. Whatever. Why is he calling? I knew you had those little letters, EXP.
You said that.
I did.
Yeah, I know why you're calling. I looked you up.
Of course.
What do you mean? And you're like, those 3 little letters.
Those little bitty letters. And I know I challenged you, and you're like, so you looked at the model. And I'm like, no, I haven't looked at the model. And you said, why not?
Yeah, I said, why not? Why haven't you done a deep dive?
And I said, well, because nobody's been able to tell me in 2 minutes why I should look for another 2 minutes. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, well, you said, okay, go ahead, Matt. Give me your 2-minute elevator speech.
Yeah, something like that.
And I think I said, well, actually, I don't have a 2-minute elevator speech. And if I did, I wouldn't discount the opportunity, and do it in 2 minutes.
No, you didn't say that. I'll make you sound better than you're sounding right now.
Okay.
What you did say is, I do not have a 2-minute elevator speech. What I do have are 2 words. And those 2 words were?
Love and legacy.
Love and legacy. And I went, sure how to hang up on you at that point because we had just built this wonderful relationship. And so I was like, oh. But then you began to talk to me about Brent. And I was like, I know Brent. I go to all Brent's trainings. Brent's one of the top in the nation. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to miss one of his trainings. And anyway, and he goes, well, you'd reminded me. You said, Brent made the jump 4 years ago. And I said, yeah, I saw that. And then you made an off-the-cuff comment about his check the previous month.
Right.
And I think you said it was somewhere, I don't know, I think it was $750K or something, somewhere around there.
Care about income, but it really was. I mean, it
really
was.
Actually, I think it was higher than that.
Eye-opening.
Yeah, it was, it was funny because you just kind of kept talking and I was like, whoa, roll that back. I said, what did you just say? Because you see, I knew that little red book inside and out. And I knew that there was no way that within 4 years you could build an income like that.
Yeah.
I know everything there is to know about teams and about building teams. And I also knew the 7th level was an illusion.
It's a myth.
It's the mystic land of not existing and where the fairies live. But anyway, that aside, I was stunned. And I said, well, what did you just say? And I made you reiterate what you had shared with me. And at that point, I kind of went dark and you kept talking and I'm pulling up Brent's website because I'm going to figure out what this fool's doing. And anyway, it was so divine because, the first picture that popped up on his website was a picture of him doing a training.
Yep.
And I look at that picture and I'm like, that's the back of my head in the middle of that picture. And I'm telling you.
And what did God tell you?
God is sometimes almost audible. And he spoke to my heart and he said, you're already in the room.
That's right.
And I was like, no, I'm not. You want me to go join this little rinky-dink company?
Kicking and screaming.
Oh, my goodness. But what a gift. What a gift. I thank God for you. I thank God for Lexi. You know, I told you, send me over whatever you've got. And I took some time and I put my business hat on and I took a deep dive on this. And I was stunned. And I could not believe it. I thought, oh my goodness, my 10-year plan just got condensed down to 5 years real quick. And not only that, but, you know, this part of my life, you know, numbers are great. And I like big numbers.
Sure. Yeah.
But this part of my life is very much about who I'm doing life with.
Right. Relationships.
All about relationships. And so I remember you had said that you had a ticket to an event that was coming up.
I have a tendency to do that.
You have a tendency to do that. You do. And asked me if I could make it. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it the same due diligence as I did with my first company. So I hopped on that plane.
Wait, now hold on.
Yeah,
how far away was that event? It was pretty close. If I remember, it was like 10 days away or no more than 14 days.
Oh, yeah. No, it was within a week. It was
within
quick.
a week or something, right? And you're an action taker.
Oh, yeah.
And I challenged you. And you thought, if I remember, you said, well, you know, when I checked out Keller Williams, they said, hey, you got to see it from the inside. Go to family reunion or whatever their big event. And you went. And you went, oh.
Yeah.
And so you said, yep, same thing in regards to... It happened to be Cabo at the time.
It did happen to be Cabo, and I will never miss Cabo. And suggest you don't either. But with that said, so I jumped on that plane and went down to Cabo and was sitting in a training. And, you know, I've sat in the best trainings in the world with the best trainers in the world. I've been so blessed in my career. And so although the training was absolutely phenomenal, that's not what impressed me.
Really?
What impressed me was literally the palatable humility that just fused from that stage to the point where it brought me to tears.
Really?
And I realized that these are servant leaders who are laying down their life to see others raised up and to be able to succeed at a high level.
Amen.
This is my tribe. This is who I want to do life with.
I love it.
And that was my moment. And I haven't looked back.
Oh, no, you haven't. You've been doing phenomenal. So I think you're a year?
Just a year later.
Right,
just a little over a year later.
Tell us about that a little bit. Now you're full on EXP, bleeding. I don't know what color.
I don't know what we
really say bleeding anything in EXP. But anyway, so
we're making real estate fun again. What are you talking about? That's what we do.
Surprise, right? Anyway, so talk about, okay, right now, what do you see with the opportunity of EXP? And then I want you to wave your magic wand. And what does 5 years look like for you?
Okay, so what I see today is number one, just divine relationships and divine appointments. I've already had the opportunity to connect with some people that will be lifelong friends. And I'm so grateful for that because I want to change their lives. This is no longer about my life. It is now about changing their lives. And so
legacy and love?
Oh, stop. Oh, those two words. But you know what? It is so true. It is so true that this is truly a vehicle that is so loving that it will give a legacy to anyone who is willing to do what it takes. And it really doesn't take much. It just takes loving people well. And so my intention in this season is to continue to love people well. We've already attracted some just incredible people. It is so humbling.
And more coming.
And more to come. And I can't wait to do life with them. These are people I love. These are people I want to hang out with, that I want to do life with. And so it's going to be continue to grow myself. Come on now. Because again, if we're not growing, we are.
We're dying.
Yes, we are.
That's right. We got to get out of the comfort zone. All our dreams and goals and everything we want. It's not in your comfort zone. You got to get uncomfortable.
It's not. And so learning to, I'm one of those that likes to go and do it my own way. And I'm learning to come back and to humble myself because sometimes that's what we have to do. I'm very much like a toddler. I'm going to go try it myself. And then when I can't figure it out, I'm going to say, help. No comment is right. And, but I do thank God. I thank God for you, Matt. I thank God for Lexi Bug and her support of you. I thank God for Dawn and Tom Daves.
We have an amazing success
oh my
team,
gosh, we are
Randy
blessed. There's not a better line.
I was going to say,
we have the strongest line. We have the strongest line in all of
diverse
eXp'ers.
And just
givers. It's
awesome.
Yeah, these are people, again, this is my tribe. And so as far as the next 5 years, I'm going to change as many lives as I can.
That's right.
I'm going to make sure that my people, that they exceed their goals far above and beyond anything that they could ever ask, dream, or imagine. And then I'm just going to help more. And it's exciting. Right? It's it's fired me up. I'm more excited about real estate today than I've been in many years.
That's saying something. Huh?
It is saying something, Matt, because anybody who's been on this treadmill for long enough knows that you get to a point of burnout on this thing. But when you start pouring into other people, guess what?
Everything changes.
Well, the fire gets stoked again. The fire gets stoked again.
Yeah.
So, Matt, love you. You know that. You're my brother.
Absolutely.
And friend. And I'm just so grateful to be on this journey with you.
Okay, so you were at KW. Go back a year from because there's agents that are going, gosh, I'm hearing more about eXp, and so-and-so's called me, or Matt's called me, or whatever, and it looks pretty good, but then all of a sudden there's a slight pullback as a fear of change. Gosh, making a move, and it's funny. To me, it's funny. I got to get new cards and new signs. I'm like, it's such little tiny stuff. Like, whatever. But anyway, it's a repeating thing for most people, even top performers in real estate, because it's their business, it's their livelihood, they're established, and it's that the fear of, not just fear of change, but just they know it. There's a slight disruption in their business. You experience that a little bit.
Just a little disruption. Just a slight disruption. Yeah. Well, again, I'm running 2 teams in 2 different states, and all of the things that go along with that. It's challenging. There's no doubt.
Yeah, moving sucks.
But again, the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. And I had ambition that I knew could not happen in the current structure that I was in. I did feel that at some point something was going to come along that was going to allow me to go to that next level. I didn't know what it was. I could have never dreamed it was this goofy thing, this gnat I'd been pushing away for 5 years. But I'm so, again, I think even that though, the timing was perfect. Everybody's like, oh, I'm too late. No, trust me.
We're just getting going.
Oh, I remember Brent saying to me once, he said, Deb, I built on dirt roads. He said, "I'm giving you a 6-lane highway." I said, "Thank you, Brent, for the 6-lane highway," because that's that makes it so much easier for me. And so change. None of us like change. It's human nature. Of course, we don't want to do something different.
Yeah.
But if we don't, we're not going to have anything different. We're just not.
Would you do it over again?
Every day of the week. And if you're thinking about it, don't wait. Do it today.
Embrace the suck is what
I don't like that expression. It's pretty sucky.
You don't like that expression?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's not as bad as
welcome the growth. It really isn't that bad.
Yeah.
And that's, and even as part of that thing that you talk about, that growth process in that transition, you meet people, you form relationships. Even through that process, there was a richness and there was a value in that. And so again, that's silly to hesitate over something so petty. If you already know, it's just a matter of actually making the commitment.
You're awesome.
I love you.
Thank you so much for spending time. It's so fun to be around you. I love it. We're making real estate fun again.
We're making real estate fun again. And so where are we going for drinks tonight?
That's right. All right. It's a wrap.